can't do it.
Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everybody out there in Cornhole Land? This is Michael Bird, and you are listening to The Sticky Side. Before we talk about today's show, and before Rob joins me, I wanted to do some take care of some house business here in the Triangle area. Just wanted to send some shout outs to everyone that played in ACL Triangle Cornholes Regional on January 14th up in Wake Forest at Strike and Barrel. Wow, we had a killer time out there. I had no idea that I was going to have 60 players show up for open singles. What a crazy turnout. Luckily, we got through it all. I ended up getting home after midnight once again, but I guess that's just the life of a ACL director, right? I love it. I love it. So, yeah, let's start out. We had open singles starting off today. Let me see if I can find it here on the, yes, here we go. Open singles results. Your top four, we had Frank Modlin of taking it down. Shout out to Frank and Joseph Johnson. Wow. I had never seen Joseph play before, and I got to tell you, this guy, he was like a 9. His PPR was, I could see, hold on one second. Yeah, so he threw a 9.65 after 159 rounds in open singles. So that's a great job, man. Joseph is, he's right there. I don't think he's a pro player, but if he's not now, he will be soon. Let's see. Going back down. So we had Frank Modlin in first, Joseph Johnson second place, Draven Sneed third place, and BJ Ward coming up in fourth. BJ, known him for a while, man, and I got to tell you, BJ's game has gotten on point. For a second, I was like, BJ's going to take this home, and I guess it was one bad frame. Finished him in, but fourth place for BJ. We got tied for fifth, Eli Lauder and Garrett Chapman. Seventh, Grayson Floyd and Danny Quinn. And coming up with ninth, Quincy Weish, Anthony Lorenzana, Travis Smith, and Colby Shear. There's your top 9 in open singles. Then we go on down to open doubles. First place went out to Jordan Mitchell, Colby Shear. Second place, Frank Modlin and Stephen Moore. Third place, Alex Lippert and Draven Sneed. Fourth place, there's Joseph Johnson again with Adrian Ballard. Fifth place, Brandon Tyndall and BJ Ward. And fifth place, Neil McKay and Cara Mather. Make sure I get her name right before she sends me a nasty message. Haha, love you, Cara. Cara, sorry. All right, and we move on to our competitive division, competitive doubles. We have William Foreman and Tavares Evans finishing first. Ashton Bartley and Daniel Parham second. Alex Chapman and Michael Jackson finishing third. And Jeremiah DuPont and Edward Hagar fourth place. And last but not least, we're going to go with our intermediate doubles. First place is going to be Kyle McVannon and Charles Davis. Second place, Ray Evans and Randy Baker. Third place, Chad Cox and Joshua Avery. And fourth place, Neil Best and Darryl Robinson. Shout out to all my players out there that came out and played in ACL Triangle Cornholes Regional number 3. And here we go. We're going to send a quick shout out to some of the MVPs of the tournament. What I'm doing, I'm just going through the stats and seeing who had the best PPRs in their division. So in intermediate doubles, Charles Davis with a 7.97. Michael Jackson with a 8.81 in competitive doubles. Colby Shear in open doubles, he threw a 9.79. Frank Modlin in open doubles, a 9.57. And Frank Modlin in open singles, a 9.89. Joseph Johnson, like I said earlier, a 9.65 after 159 rounds in open singles. There you have it, folks. Just a little recap from Triangle Cornhole Regional number 3. And don't forget, if you are in the Triangle area or anywhere around in North Carolina and you need to get a regional in, come on and see us. My next one is going to be January 28th at Strike and Barrel. And this tournament will be the open blind draw, intermediate singles, and competitive singles. So if you need to get those in, come on January 28th, Strike and Barrel. All right. All right, let's get on to the main show. Today we have Mr. Daniel Lilley from UK Cornhole League going to be joining us. And Rob will be here. So we'll see you in a minute. Rob, how you doing, man?
Never been better.
I'm not. I don't know if I'm not buying that, man. That was. Well, like I said before we went on air, I'm digging the black and yellow look, man. The honeybee look.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Little honeybee action.
Yeah. You watch any of the football playoffs yesterday?
Not even one play, man. I didn't. I did not partake in any of it. I was busy,
Yeah.
just tooling around, doing things, building bookshelves, just doing dumb stuff. So didn't get to watch any of it. But I heard it was pretty exciting. The Giants moved on, which I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Daniel Jones went off, man. He came out. He had his coming out party yesterday. But I hate the Giants because these damn New York fans that live in North Carolina, and they're all. Giants. If you like the Giants so much, go back to New York and watch them. I'm sorry, I love all you people in New York. I'm just joking.
We couldn't. Hey, we can't. I don't think you should call it football with what we have coming up here. We got a guest that knows football at a different way than what we're used to it.
Yeah, that is true. We are joined. Hey, we are across the pond today, Rob. This is our first international guest. Yeah, we're joined by Mr. Daniel Lilley from the UK Cornhole League. What's going on, Daniel? How are you doing, man?
How you doing, guys? How you doing, the OPL? Are you good?
Yeah, man, we are making it. You are 5 hours ahead of us. It's around 9 p.m. UK time. Thanks for joining us and staying up with us.
And yeah, I normally go to bed around about 10:30, 11. So yeah, no problem at all.
So how's things going over there in the UK, man? How's cornhole? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's wow, it's gathering pace. I couldn't even get my words out then. It's getting that exciting. It's really good to be honest. And the UKCL is just growing on a daily basis, and we're getting like emails, phone calls, and people are really getting into cornhole now. Excuse me, and I think like the likes of Instagram and social media are really helping us out in regards to promoting it as well. Really.
That's awesome. So tell me, how did cornhole start in the UK?
So it's been in and out of the scene, shall we say. I've never really known about it until about a year ago, when I seen cornhole at a wedding, and like the boards was like made out of pallets more or less, and we throw bags and stuff, and it was like I just thought to myself, wow, I need to take this to like another level, and maybe like a more structured sport level. But then when I kind of did my research, of course, I seen in America it was already huge, like absolutely massive. And I was like, wow, why has the UK not got anything like this? And there was a few people here and there doing little bits and bats, building little associations here and there, but nothing as big as what the UKCL is at the minute and is going to be.
Are you the founder of UKCL?
Yeah. I'm the founder. I founded it by myself as well. And I've always worked in sport management and sport kind of, and certainly niche sports as well. In trying to promote and upscale the interest in niche sports. And when I started playing cornhole, I thought this is not a game. This is definitely a sport. This is this is endurance. This is fatigue. This is skill levels that you need high skill levels at, and it's like, wow, I need to, I need to do something here. So that's when the UKCL was formed in May last year. So it was formed, and then we set up like a league structure, and then like a tour of the UK, and the prize money's been going up and up and up, and sponsors have been coming in now, and it's been going really well, really well.
So I'm looking at ukcornholeleague.com, and so you have four clubs. You call them clubs. Now, tell me about the clubs. Is that like different organizations within England, or is that teams? I'm assuming teams,
It,
right?
it's like we yeah, a club to us is basically like mini organizations. Yeah, so in
Okay.
each one of them clubs is between like 10 to 20 players in each team. So for example, I own Manchester Cornhole Club, and we have like between 10 to 15 players every other Friday. And so yeah, it's very small at the minute, but we're now starting to see more clubs come on board, and we offer like a free logo and design service and promotional service for the clubs, and just trying to gear them up really into making sure that the players are having fun first, and then secondly, if they want to go to that next level or they want to take it more to a competitive level, they come to the kind of playing UKCL events.
So it shows four clubs. Let's see, in England, you got the Berry Baggers and your club, Manchester Cornhole Club, the Aces and Eights in Stratford Cornhole Club.
That's
You
right.
you've got Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland up here too, but you don't have any clubs yet. I see you got
No,
expansion coming.
yeah, without a doubt, yeah. We need to obviously the UK is massive, but within the UK there's certain countries, i.e. England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. Sorry, England, Ireland, Northern Ireland, sorry, Scotland and Wales. And we're looking to branch out even more. And I think that we have a couple more clubs coming on board by the end of this week, which is great. But again, them two are in England as well. So, we're going to have maybe six, seven clubs in England before Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland even been touched. But there's definitely players in these countries. They're not at that stage of, or they don't have not got the enthusiasm of maybe starting a club yet.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure it takes a while. Anything new, people want to see if it's working before they kind of jump on board. Um,
Yeah, without a doubt, we have people come to the UKCL that are not even part of a club, and they really want to kind of jump in at the deep end. And then when they find out that the players are actually pretty good, they kind of like if they've got a competitive edge, then they'll come again. But if they haven't, then they kind of shy away. But we don't want them to shy away. We want them to first of all have fun, like I said, and then get that competitive edge then going forward.
Yeah, I'm watching a little video here on YouTube of you playing. It's linked to your website. You're playing Josh Heiser, and yeah, putting bags in the hole, man. I see you guys actually even have the live stream, good format on your live stream there. Yeah,
We've started well. We've actually just bought loads more equipment this week actually for our next event, which is in a couple of weeks. So in a couple of weeks we're playing Oxford, well, in the Southern qualifiers. And yeah, we've bought more equipment, more camera equipment and stuff like that. So it'll be a different feel at the next one as well. It'll be more, shall we say, ACL feel in a way. And and yeah, of course, we love to see it all in America. When I first got into cornhole, I seen that in America, in the USA, it was very confused. I won't say confusing, but it was very. There was so many different organizations, so many banter going left, right, and center. It was like wow. Like first of all, the UK is, as you know yourself, it's probably two states worth in regards to size. So it's not as, we're quite lucky that we can probably go from one end to the other in 4 or 5 hours drive. Where obviously you guys, it's more difficult than that. So this is why I think that we kind of sat on a gold mine there, and we just need people to help us dig it up, really,
Yeah, for sure. What was the inspiration behind the format of your leagues and the way that you put them together? You obviously have looked at what we do over here in the US. What was your inspiration, and how did you decide the format of everything that you were doing with cornhole over there?
So I think initially, because it was in its infancy in the UK, I thought, well, we've got to think about how many people, what time people what are ingesting to this sport. And we thought, well, if we do one event every 2 months, that really is quite easy. You're talking six major events throughout the whole year, which to me is not a lot at all. It gives people to save up money for traveling, or it gives people time to practice, and that was it really. That's the initial kind of structured league really, that we only have six events. So at the minute we start off with the UK Open, and then we go into a Northern qualifier, and then a Southern qualifier, then back to a Northern qualifier, then back to a Southern qualifier, and at the end we have the National Championship at the end. So our league is a September to September league. So the 2022-23 season is September to September. And then next year we're going to be bringing a club championship in as well, where because at the minute we only play singles, which might seem very weird to you guys. We only play singles in the UKCL, but in clubs, of course, in like Manchester and all the single clubs, we play doubles. With airmail raffles and everything that we do, all everything that you guys do. But in the UKCL, it's just singles at the minute. But next year, obviously, once that interest is now at that point, which I think it definitely will be, we're going into double events and team events.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's because I mean, Rob, I think singles was after the fact when once the organizations got started in the United States, it all started out with doubles. Like
Right.
bring your own partner tournament. So it's kind of like the opposite. Yeah. Daniel, do you have any partnerships with any groups in the United States already, as far as like with ACL, ACO, or?
We don't. We see in the UK. Sorry, I see in the UK personally. I can only speak for myself, really.
Mhm.
I see, of course, that the ACL is the biggest, and of course that is purely driven by television and great structure by the likes of Stacey and Stacey Moore and stuff like that. That you've just got to appreciate that guy's kind of knowledge um yeah, he just seems like a top guy anyway, personally. But and then we see the ACO of actually, I see the ACO of actually being a bigger organization, really. But when I mean bigger, I mean just maybe participation bigger. Um, and that's only because the way the ACL is structured, that you can only have so many pro players within a roster and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we just see it. We just seen the Texas Cornhole League this week, and it's like crazy the amount of people that's there, and you're like, wow, like it'd just be amazing to kind of go over there and actually be part of a bigger tournament like that. And this year I'll be going to the Netherlands and Germany to play in the ACL Europe. Um, so yeah, there's no kind of animosity or certainly no competitism between us and anyone else really. We just love cornhole, and yeah, like I said, we are a business, though we're not an association, so we are structured slightly the same as the ACL. But yeah, apart from that, no, we're not partnered with anything or anyone at the minute. I have spoke to Todd a couple of times at the ACL, and I think they like what we're doing, but there's no reason for them to kind of get involved yet.
No,
Definitely.
that's I mean, I've worked for the ACO, and now I currently work for the ACL. And ACL definitely has the grip on the television, ESPN, and what else are they on, Rob? CBS and Fox,
Yeah.
you know all
CBS. I don't know if they're on Fox yet.
are they? Yeah, probably. I don't think they are.
CBS for sure.
Yeah,
CBS and ESPN for sure.
yeah.
So
So I'm sure you've caught some of those broadcasts over there in the UK. Uh, I don't know, on the
uh-oh.
telly. You're sitting in the bar and then see. I know that it's weird for me. I will never
Pub.
forget. I'm like sitting at a bar, at a
Pub.
sports bar here. Oh, yeah, they have pubs, and I'm like seeing people that I threw with like 5, 6 years ago on TV, and I'm like, wow, cornholes came so far. And do you have any plans of traveling to the United States and playing in an ACL event one day?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I've never actually been to America personally. Never been to the USA. I've been to Mexico. It's probably the nearest I've been. But yeah, I've never been to the USA. And of course, if it's a sport that's kind of, huge, and it's definitely somewhere I'll be going. Travel cost and everything's not a problem for me. So, and that, I suppose that's a good thing as well. That the UKCL is in the UK, which is, like I said, it's only maybe two states worth size. So we're very lucky like that. I think it's a reason why we can definitely generate this sport into, I wouldn't say as big as the ACL, but that's certainly a motion that we're trying to strive to, and we have some pretty big businessmen over here and the UK is very competitive as well. So the sponsors are now starting to come in and starting to give us more revenue, and we've just signed up with a mat company where they're going to provide the league with all pitching mats and like customized pitching mats and stuff. So yeah, we're doing things in the right way, in the nice steady way, not trying to rush into things, and certainly not trying to run as fast as we can walk.
And what type of format, what type of structure will the league have? Because over there with the Premier League and the things that you have with your football leagues over there, are you going to structure it somewhat like that, or is there going to be, where you have people promoting and relegating and things like that, or how will it be structured in that sense?
Yeah, so at the minute yeah, I suppose like football or soccer to you guys is obviously the biggest sport in the world, and I mean, over in the UK and certainly England where I live in Manchester, it's an actual religion. It's it's like people eat, sleep, and die over football. It's it's just a crazy, the amount of money involved and everything is just absolutely crazy in the sport. We've structured the way, for example, our just give you a quick example of our qualifiers work. Sorry. So, say for example, there's 16 players in it, and it'll be like, or even just if there's 8 players in it for a minute. Sorry, we do like two groups of four with the top two going through into a semi-final final. And you get 3 points for a win, and you get 1 point for a 2-1 defeat. So we always play up to two. So we play best of three, first to two. So you're getting a lot of game time really for your money's worth, shall we say? Um, and then actually the final is best of five, which is obviously the first to three. Now you might think, wow, that is absolute craziness. No, that is like drooling. And I think that this time next year that we won't be at them stages. I think we'll be at the stages of one and then two in the final. Because obviously it's going to get bigger, and we'll need more courts, and tournament organization will probably end up increasing even further. So we don't want to kill ourselves, but yeah, at the minute that is how we're structured. So we'll just do like a bracket format, sorry, a league format, and then or what you guys call maybe a round robin, and then into
Yeah,
a semi-final, final, or a quarter-final, semi-final, final.
group play, right? Group play, and do you do a third place match? Nice.
Yes, we
Wow.
do third place. Yeah, so we have rankings as well. So the third place match would actually go on the far court compared to the main streaming court, which is obviously the final. So and it'll be played at the same time. So and that'll be refereed by themselves and stuff like that. It won't be as you know it won't be as we don't need to look over it basically. But yeah, we do have ranking points as well, order of merit points that we call it, and yeah, we need to have a third place playoff just to kind of determine that really.
Now
Wow.
you just said it governed by themselves or refereed by themselves. So what does that mean for the finals? What does that mean for the match that's going to be looked over? Talk to me about that. Are there on court refs? What's going on?
So we have an on-court ref for every game, every single game. So the way our software
Mm.
works is our software will have a scoring referee, which is actually like the referee of kind of sweeps and stuff, like just looking at don't really the only thing they do really is keep hold of the score. So the player don't have to do it. So they're just going back and forth. And then if, for example, if there's a sweep situation or a a bag at the bottom of a board situation, they'll just intervene and say that, give them a neutral kind of aspect really. But apart from that, really, we just play probably like you guys, really just play on our own, go to score Holio at one end, and then just go back and forth.
And does that referee watch for fouls and foot fouls and anything like that?
Yeah, just the general stuff really. I suppose foot fouls is at one end actually, the referee. So I suppose if it's at the other end, it's a bit difficult. But I mean, I think in the UK, in the US, we've heard a lot of, not a lot, sorry, that's the wrong word, but we've heard, cheating here or baggate here or and stuff, things like that. I think in the UK at the minute, it is in its infantry. I think um,
Oh,
pretty successful to be fair, in the professional world of bags. So. we kind of look at that as well and make sure that every bag is, we do have a bag regulation as well, but it's not as strict as the ACL or ACO.
Well, I got a question
Are
for
you?
you
Oh,
about.
sorry.
I got a question about bags. Since you mentioned it, do you manufacture your own bags or do you buy from the United States?
We buy from the United States at the minute, so we design and then we buy from the United States.
Do you have a preferred bag manufacturer you use, or?
Yeah, well, I can't, if you don't mind, I just can't say from NDA purposes, but
Mhm.
they are a top ACL brand. That's all I can say.
Oh, you can't. It's not Boardman, is it?
No.
I just can't, yeah.
That's
I
Rob's
just can't
bags.
say.
Yeah.
I just can't say. All right, sorry, Rob.
No.
Yeah, I could clearly see that in his hat. Actually, sorry. Um, yeah, yeah. It's just an NDA. I'm afraid I can't say it, but I
Hmm.
mean, the bags are like high quality. I mean, like top end quality. You know, your ultras and your fire, and they're that quality basically. So, my website is called Sneak Cornhole, or sneakcornhole.com. And yeah, we have carpet bags, speed bags. We even have a bag there which is like just a pure speed nine, back and front. So yeah, we have some pretty crazy bags on there as well.
Cool. Cool. Yeah.
So a lot of the rules and a lot of the ratings and a lot of the bags you've brought over from the United States. Tell me what besides the structure and the way that you do the tournament, what other things are unique to the UK Cornhole League that we wouldn't have seen over here in the United States?
So, so we're doing a club championship, and people can copy this. I'm not too bothered. um, we have like so the club championship is going to be, and this might sound really weird again, but the teams are just going to be teams of two people with one substitute. So it's teams of three basically. Um, and we are going to have it where um, we'll have we'll have player A playing player A of one team, and then we'll player B playing player B of the other team, and then there'll be a doubles match in there as well. So it'll be a one round for the singles, and then it'll be a first to two for the doubles. And then it depends on if team A for you guys is you'll play a singles match first, and then they'll play the doubles match, and then if say the New York Giants win both of them first games, then they don't need to play that third game, if you know what I mean, that third single game. So that's how we're going to structure our doubles club championship. And they can substitute a player, not in a round, but they can substitute player per matches. So a player could play the singles and then not play that doubles, if you know what I mean.
Right.
I hope I simplified that. I know it's a bit weird. And then and then apart from that, it is purely just groups and bracket all the time. We're not as complicated in some ways as I see others. And again, we're in the infantry at the minute of the league, but it is becoming pretty successful. And you never know. In next season, in the 23-24 season, things might change again. But I think adding that extra club championship, which means 7 events over the season, um, then obviously each club then is going to play maybe two, three, four times in between these UKCL events as well. So there's a lot of cornhole actually happening in the UK now. Um, and for example, we're playing this Friday night, and then next Friday we're traveling down to Oxford to kind of do the UKCL event as well. So it's going to be really good, and I've got a pretty good team behind me as well, actually.
How many?
Is that going to be a team of three, or is that a team of to go to the UKCL event? Is that bigger than three?
Oh yeah, so yeah, of course. So at the minute there's 16 players at the minute signed up. I think it's going to go to like maybe 30 maybe. This is more the competitive level of cornhole, not just your back garden guys or your backyard guys. Um, for example, in the order of merit at the minute, it's actually an American that's number one in the order of merit at the minute, actually. Um, in fact, number one and number three actually, and they are actually sandwiching me at the minute in number two. Um, so yeah, I'm being sandwiched by two American guys in a minute, but they're the only two Americans in the UKCL at the minute actually. And I'm hoping that we can get more European guys coming over and more Americans, and yeah, I hope that that's going to really kick on.
Um, do you have a pro structure? Are you going to have like professional players?
Yeah, so next season it's going to be where professional players can only earn prize money. basically. So they would pay extra entry fees, but they would then be able to gain that money back out, if you know what I mean. So we would have a non-pro structure where they won't win any prize money. They might win a trophy if they end up winning, or a board or a set of boards or something. But the pros would only be the pros that win money, basically. So probably the same as you guys over there. But if we call something professional over it, it means that you're making money from something that you're doing, and that's what we'll be doing, basically. So there will be a UKCL pro. I won't say a pro stamp, but maybe you'll have that pro status. Because we have some pretty good PPRs over here, and yeah, we do deck rounds, and we do art, we do everything that obviously the Americans do, really. So
your best player over there, what's their PPR about right now? What's yours?
So mine, I did a deck round the other day at like 98 the other day. Matthew Richardson, he's an American guy. I think in the final when me and him played, he shot like a 9.4. I shot like an 8.7 in that final. I got absolutely whitewashed, basically. He absolutely killed me. But yeah, so I'd say I don't think we've got anyone in the UKCL at the minute that would maybe hit over 100. I think maybe Matthew would probably hit over 100, to be honest. But yeah, like I said, my best deck around is like 90, between 90 and 95, 96, like on a constant, really.
Rob,
I don't know if that's good.
I'll put you on the spot, Rob. Who's got the highest PPR in the USA and ACL?
No, I probably would, if I had to think about it. I have no clue. I don't really know. I haven't looked at it, but
I think Matt Guy gets
high.
around 111, don't you know?
Yeah,
like right now.
I mean, I've seen him have perfect deck around. So I mean,
yeah. Mark Richardson
he beat a ghost 11.5.
Didn't Mark Richardson last year throw a 12?
I mean,
he had a perfect
not
game
the whole year.
No, but for one game. Yeah, I think he threw a 12 for one game. That's insane.
Crazy.
People do that. I mean, that happens. You know what I mean? But like,
no, it doesn't. It's never
talking
happened to
about
me.
PPR, thousands and thousands of rounds. It's different. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You ever threw a 12, Rob?
Yes, I threw a 12.
I don't believe it.
Erie,
you threw 12 bags and they went in, and you said that's a 12. God.
No, it was 6 rounds, but it was pretty cool. I threw an 11 just the other day, but it was only 3 rounds. But
an 11 was
12, 10.
Daniel, how many players? Oh Jesus! How many players have you got in your organization right now?
So at the minute, we've officially got 70 signed up. We have got around 110 signed up, but we have a verification process. So there's about 35 that have not come back on the verification process. Is basically like a text message of authentication or an email of authentication, or where you have to click a link and stuff like that. So yeah, we have basically a confirmed 70 players at the minute. We've only 2 ladies in that as well, and we don't have a separated ladies and men's table at the minute. They just play with the men, basically, and because we feel that if there's ladies out there and that are competitive and they throw 27 plus feet, then anyone can play, really. Even the youth players. We've got a youth player which is 8 years old at the minute, and he's just getting to the board, and it's like, listen, you can start playing competitions if you can just get an extra 3 feet and start getting it near the hole. You can come competitions all day long.
Have you seen, like, Rob can speak for this. I mean, his favorite cornhole player is a female. Some of the best cornhole players in the United States are women. You got Samantha Finley. You got, God, name some, Rob. There's tons of them.
Cameron Belvin.
Rosie, Cameron.
Yeah, I mean, and then you want to talk about the 8-year-olds.
Cheyenne Renner.
Yeah. Well, it's not Renner anymore. It's like Budenheim, right?
Budenheim,
yeah. She got married. And God, what's some of the little kids? He's talking about 8-year-olds. I was watching one of those 2 brothers. Was it the
Caballero brothers?
Yeah, the Caballero. God, that's insane to me, man. I mean, he's not even taller than my leg, and he's like hitting air mills on demand. Crazy.
He just won 2 regionals. I'm doubles regionals, but he won them. In the last 2 months he's won. So.
Yeah. So
It's
it,
crazy.
so eventually, is that something you're looking at doing in the UK Cornhole League, bringing in a women's division, maybe a minor division, something like that?
Potentially, yeah, potentially. I think that like at the minute we are just kind of having fun, and I'd say there's maybe 20 out of the 70 that have got that more competitive edge and really want to get their order of merit points and the ranking points and
Hmm.
earn money and get prizes and trophies on the table and stuff like that. So I'm more one of them personally. The UK is very just get bigger on a daily basis.
It
That's
would,
pretty amazing.
yeah, it would be cool if you guys did something in Europe as a whole. Like, how many clubs are in Europe? I know Germany has some. UK. Is there any more countries in Europe that have them?
Yes, Netherlands, Belgium, Sweden. Well, Sweden's more Nordic, but Sweden, Denmark have came into the frame. I think that I think that, for example, someone like the ACL need to really put a stamp on things because it's kind of going to
Hmm.
overhaul it, if you know what I mean. Like it's
Yeah.
going to be the ACL are going to be really kind of set back to America, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
It sounds like something the UKCL might want to put
And
their own band on it. Really, you might want to unite everybody.
yeah, well, maybe I think that again the UKCL is a business. It is actually a business, and like I said, with the sponsorship that we've got two preempted sponsors that are coming in, which are going to put quite a lot of value into the league. And we've just had it now where, like I said, a mat company has come into the league, and they're going to provide us with all pitching mats, but also they've like put £1,000 or like $1,200 to the national championship final, and the money's going to start increasing even more. You can look at something like darts here in the UK. It's a massive sport in the UK, and darts. Some players are earning 2 million an event and stuff, and darts is a multi million pound business, and it's something that someone like I don't know if you know a guy called Barry Hearn who owns darts, but it's something that Barry Hearn could take on here in the UK cornhole and really kind of take it to that next level. We have got a 5-year plan, and the 5-year plan is the two major parts of that 5-year plan is one, get it on TV, and two, have our own HQ in the UK. And there are 5-year plans.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is it that you what do you do outside of cornhole?
So I own my own air conditioning company, which is like air conditioning ventilation.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some big money in that as well, and I'm funding a lot of the UKCL at the minute. But so yeah, I funded quite a bit, but the sponsors now are coming in and kind of putting me back at a good level, shall we say? So
Mm.
yeah,
Good.
we're quite lucky now at the UKCL, and the website gets hit quite a lot. It's staggering how much the website gets hit quite a lot, and certainly from over America as well. Um, Luckily in the UK here on Google, if you type in Cornhole League, it comes up on the first page, which is crazy. I don't know if they'll do that in the US, but um, the ACL is top, and then we like second or third, and it's that's why we're getting a lot of hits at the minute. It's quite good.
Maybe the
For sure.
ACL should rebrand instead of being called the American Cornhole League, like rebrand to the WCL, be the World Cornhole League. That way they can put their umbrella over everything on the planet because, Australia's even got cornhole leagues. And that way there could be like a World Unification Championship once a year, the actual World
Yeah.
Championship. Yeah.
Yeah, we see that as well. We see that in America, certainly the ACL, we hear
Hmm.
that a lot. This guy's the best player in the world, and it's like, really, you can't say that. Okay, the PPRs
Hmm.
might kind of say that, but you can't really say that these guys are the best in the world. Because when you're commentating on ACL and they're like, this guy's the best in the world or this lady's the best in the world, it's pretty impossible to kind of say that because we've got some European players over there, 105 pluses, if not more, and you never know. You just never know. So I think you're right. I think that someone like Stacey needs to put more of an umbrella on stamp on it and maybe come at the UKCL and say, I'd like to invest in this or invest in that or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's just Americans do that all the time, man, with all our sports. Everybody's a world champion. You know, Dallas, no, I almost said Dallas Cowboys world champion, but that'll never happen. I'm sorry. They're losing tonight. But football team wins, world champions. NBA team wins, world champions. And especially in basketball, you can't say that anymore because there's a lot more teams out on the planet Earth that are a lot better than United States basketball teams. So yeah, you're definitely
I
right on
took
that.
I have took an interest in a lot of American sports, but I mean, uh, unfortunately, American football. I'm a Texans fan, which is crazy. I know. Don't laugh.
Wow, yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
had
is
so
laughing.
you had
That's
31 more
fun
choices,
though.
Daniel. What happened?
You know
Yeah,
what?
that's
Yeah.
fun. What were they over there at one point and you just loved them, or what? How does that even happen?
No, they've never been over here actually, like at the London Stadium. They've never been here. But I mean, I've just got a few friends in Houston, pretty close friends, and I like the logo, and that's where it kind of went off from really. I like the logo, and that was it. I started buying shirts and hats and
There you go.
uh, just getting me NFL stamp on me, you know.
Yeah.
I lived in Jacksonville for about 25 years, so they come over there every year because Shad Khan being the owner and owning. I think he owns Wembley, right? Doesn't he? I think he bought that stadium,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so the Jaguars have been over there ever since he's owned them. They've been there once a year, and they were going to go twice a year. COVID year, they were going to go twice, but it's crazy. So I imagine a lot of the people in the UK are Jaguar fans just because of how often they come over. But I've seen a lot of different jerseys when they play those London games. So
yeah.
I know for sure that you guys there's a love because you sell out those sports
Every
fast.
time,
Yeah,
every
you
time,
sell
yeah,
out those
every time.
events very quickly.
Yeah, a couple of my mates are Packers fans. I've got Eagles fans. I've got Bills fans. Yeah, they've got quite a few to be fair. So yeah, it's certainly a sport that's taken to us over in the UK. But I'm more of a big baseball fan. I'm actually a baseball fan, and uh, and yeah, more of a baseball fan to be fair. If I have to choose an American sport wholly, you know.
You know,
Which
I really was never a big soccer fan. I just never got it. Where I grew up in North Carolina, we never played soccer. I grew up in like a real country part where football was the thing, American football, and then basketball and baseball. Never got into soccer. I just never could see how these men running around a field for 2 hours kicking a ball was exciting. But I watched the World Cup this year. I watched the final, the championship game, and man, I got to tell you, that was one of the best professional sports games I've ever laid eyes on. It was
Yeah,
exciting. The two stars on each team overperformed what people thought they
yeah,
were going to do, and man, that had me falling in love with soccer. Um, and you
yeah.
got to call it soccer, Rob, because you don't call it football moms, right? You've seen the Peyton Manning commercial, okay, right? Yeah. But
I'm with
yeah,
you.
it definitely awakened my interest in soccer. I see what the big craze is and why everybody goes crazy for it.
Yeah, but that was the best game in 40 years. You're gonna watch for another 40 years now because of that
No,
game. I don't
probably
know, bro.
not.
That was one of the
Like,
that was one of the world's best matches of all time. So it's
Yeah.
it's tough to it's tough to gain your fandom from that match only because the rest of them don't look like that.
you
Yeah.
gotta watch like a Premier League match, like the two Manchesters, the Manchester Derby, or Liverpool versus Manchester United, or these games are like that. Believe it or not, they're or the Champions League finals. These are just crazy games. And yeah, of course that's why soccer is still.
Uh,
But yeah, obviously football is kind of tenfold, which is crazy. So
Yeah. Well, one thing the ACL is really great at, and that's bringing celebrities into events. Like they have, what's the event called the ACL does, Rob, where they bring the celebrities to
Super
shoot it?
Bowl.
The Super Bowl, yeah.
Super Bowl, yeah, yeah.
So you have any plans? Maybe you can bring in some celebrities from the UK in and throw some bags. Maybe get the Royals out there. Get King Charles. Come on out, King. Or maybe you could get Harry when he comes back to the UK. That would be
So
something.
yeah, you guys love the Royals more than probably the UK people love the Royals. It's crazy.
I was,
Okay.
It's
I
all
think
about
you're
the
right.
drama. Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, we're looking to do celebrity stuff and promote in the right way. And we're just not. We like I said, we're just not running fast so we can walk. You know, we hear a couple of new organisations starting. It's like wow, like you know, it's not without naming people. It's just like wow. I hope you do well because at the end of the day, you just you're promoting cornhole, but please don't trip upon your own feet. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's in the
Without a
United
doubt.
States. You
And,
know,
and,
one. Uh,
and it can happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Go
no, you
ahead,
know,
tell it.
competition's good, man. Competition's good. You know, it all started with the ACO. Then Stacy came along with the Carolina Cornhole Tour. He tried that for a little bit, and then he changed that to the ACL.
Championship of bags.
Yeah, and then the TCL. TCL's been around though, about the same as CCEL. I don't know when Texas Cornhole League started. Chad's been running that for a while. And I think that's it. There's been a couple other organizations, Tailgating for Troops, that came and went quick in like 2 years. And am I missing anything else? That's about all the.
There are so many regional organizations that we have no idea of until we
Yeah.
get there. And it's just like he was talking about their clubs over there. You know, that's what it's like. It's like these isolated clubs all over our country that they love cornhole and they're not necessarily connected to an organization yet. They're just out there throwing bags. And I think you need that, but I think you also have you need to have a unifying organization for the overall competition as people get further into the game. So
Yeah, and I think that
I like Daniel's idea.
I think that's why why I started Sneak as well, because Sneak don't only do bags, we do boards as well. And I think when I first envisioned this UKCL, I thought to myself, listen, I can't come in this fluctuated. I need to come in this like full in straight away, because if I don't go full in, I'll end up coming back out more or less straight away. So I thought, first of all, I structured the league. I did absolutely everything in the background, and then I thought, right, the UKCL is there now; it's ready to go. Now I need to also build a brand. I'm pushing professional equipment out there into the market, not just bags, but also at good pricing as well. But so not just bags, but also boards. So our boards are without a doubt spec'd exactly the same as the ACL and the ACO. You know, 3/4 ply, like high premium ply, and the printing now is like UV printed and varnished 8 to 10 times, and professionally varnished. And yeah, we and myself have managed to kind of really push a real professional edge into the UK of cornhole, which is great.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a perfect. I mean, that's perfect for what you're doing. Big, small, or growing, it's incredible. And if that's the key, is to grow it for you, I think with all the equipment and structure, that's what's gonna draw people in. And of course, we have to remember it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, it's not really. Certainly, when you get to the final of tournaments and stuff, it's not fun. But yeah, and it's certainly not fun when my wife wants to get rid of like 20 boards that's in the house as well and stuff like that. Like, we need to buy some like bigger storage and stuff. So yeah, we that's coming up very imminently, that where we can store our boards and get rid of corner, help me out, personal house.
I see you're in the storage room now doing this podcast.
Yeah, I've even got more boards there, airmail boxes. Yeah, crazy.
It's awesome.
But yeah, crazy.
What's the drinking like in the league? That's one of the questions that I want to know. From across the pond, what's the drinking like? You guys really don't know what it's like over here, but what's it like over there? What are the performance enhancing beverages? Talk to me about that.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. There's been no drinking at UKCL tournaments.
What?
I don't know what. I know. And it's because our tournaments are in sports halls, so there's no kind of drink to be readily available anyway. I think when we come, but maybe into next season, we'll be at other venues that kind of can offer that service. And for example, in darts, people drink in darts to kind of calm the nerves down and have more fun. And it might get to that point, you never know. But I suppose then that's when the UKCL has to bring more rules into place. Because at the minute the rules are simple: is you just got to behave well. You've got to You've got to you've got to act in the right way, and that's it really. But I suppose if drinks and drugs, maybe as well, we hear that in the US, unfortunately. Um, I don't know if it's true or not. It's just conspiracy, maybe. I don't know, but we've just got to regulate it in the right way. At the minute, the UKCL has just got regulations on bags and boards, but you never know. Regulations might come into play a bit more in personal levels.
That's
Ma-
freaking awesome. No drinking at all, Mike. How about that?
Yeah, that's standard protocol in the United States. Some people even have a beer in their non-throwing hand as they're throwing. I've seen them on ESPN doing that. I'm like, God,
Yeah,
really? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, see, in the UK, that's certainly not something we'll kind of promote for now, anyway. You never know if Bud Light came into us or anyone like that, and they kind of authorized it, then we do it. But
Hmm.
there's pretty strict regulations in the UK actually. You can't promote gambling companies on streams, or you can't promote beer companies on streams. There's actually pretty strict
Wow.
Wow.
aware, yeah, but strict awareness. Awareness things. So as you can see by our sponsors, they're not, they don't involve drinks or drugs, unfortunately, or
Mm.
fortunately, some would say. So, so, but listen, money talks, and if there's
Hmm.
a way that a sponsor would come in and potentially give us, X amount of pounds, and then we've got to get around it somehow. So we'll see, we'll see what happens, but. At the minute, it's just Red Bull at the minute, or that's the only kind of caffeine kick at the minute.
Get
I
jacked
imagine
up.
that. I imagine that gives people anxiety when they get about 12 Red Bulls in them.
Oh.
Yeah, bags are flying off the back all the time when you get a Red Bull down.
That's awesome, man. That is crazy. That was one of the questions I really wanted to hear the answer to because I know what it's like here. And what do you do in the backyard when you're practicing? I don't know. Do you find yourself having a beer, daily, or how does it work
Oh,
when you're out there throwing bags in the hole?
oh no, so I personally like beer. Don't get me wrong. I've not got a yellow liver, but I do like beer. But also for the clubs, yeah, for the clubs actually, I always put like a crate in my Zuka bag. So when we're playing the club events, sorry, yeah, definitely. But in the UKCL events, it's a no, I'm afraid. But yeah, for the club events, yeah, we always take beer, and so we do drink in club events, definitely.
Nice.
I can't drink. If I can have one beer, I need one beer to loosen me up, and then anything past that, when I start to get physically altered,
Yeah,
I just
start seeing
can't
three
throw.
holes and four holes
Yeah,
instead of one. Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
some people throw better like that. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
not me. You know. Um, well, you got anything else, Rob?
No, man, this has been incredible. I want to come back. I really want to see this guy next year because they're talking about some more big things. I just want to do this again because this is amazing to see it in a different culture. It's just really cool.
And it's really promising for like maybe an Olympic event. When you see all these other countries getting their clubs, organizations together. Like the ones Daniel, Netherlands, England. And then there's Germany, and then you got some in Australia. It makes it possible that maybe eventually there will be an Olympic event. You
Well, the
know.
good news is when it's in America, we can have there are 4 or 5 sports that you can showcase, so they don't have to be in 75% of the countries in order for it to be showcased in the Olympics if the Olympics are in America. And I believe one of these years coming up, the Summer Olympics will be in America. So there's an opportunity for that Olympic sport to actually at least at least look like it's going to be here. So
Yeah.
yeah, you gonna come over for that, Daniel? You gonna shoot on over for the Olympics?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. Like I said, funding's not. Look, I'm very lucky at that. Funding's not a problem for me. But so yeah, I can go anywhere in the world where I want. But I mean, yeah, I definitely want to be doing something like that. But yeah, I just think the cornhole community is amazing. I'm on every group on Facebook. I'm on, you'll probably see Sneak flying about in here, there, and everywhere, and yeah, it's just
Mm-hmm.
really good. And like I said, Sneak's done really well, and the UKCL's going really well. And yeah, long may it continue. And I just want to say thanks to obviously you guys, and also I was on a podcast the other week as well, and Matt Guy actually phoned me out of the blue, just phoned me like on Instagram, and I was like, "Is this the real Matt Guy actually phoned me like one of the goats of the game?" And so I answered it, and it was actually Matt Guy. Like I was like, "What? Like this is not real. This is like to me, this is like someone like Leo Messi phoning me." I'm like, "Wow, this is crazy." So yeah, and then he phoned me again, and then again with Brett on there as well. I was like, "This guy is like the most humble kind of goal ever, really." If you know what I mean. So, but yeah, I just want to say thanks to, like I said, you guys in the community just for making the experience in this early stage with Cornhole amazing.
Well, hey,
thank you.
Yeah, we want to thank you for being on the sticky side, man. Like I said, you have just you're a milestone for our show, Rob. First international guest, and we appreciate it. Hey, and you're not a member of all the groups. You got to join North Carolina Cornhole, and you got to join my club, Triangle Cornhole. Go ahead, join those up. You can check me out. Yeah,
I will do.
Daniel Lilley on the sticky side. Daniel, thanks again, and good luck in the UK, man, with the UK Cornhole League. Go to ukcornholeleague.com for more information if you want to check out the organization, their clubs, their rules, or whatnot. Check them out. Give them some hits. Rob, always a pleasure, man.
Talk about us too, huh? Where can they find us, Mike?
Wait, I'm getting to it. I got to say bye to you first, then I'm going to end it up. We'll let you go ahead and plug Boardmen. You want to go ahead and say something?
I got nothing to plug, man.
Nothing to plug? Well, all right. Well, I'm Mike Bird. That's Rob Chismark. You just listened to and watched the Sticky Side. Check us out on Naughty Donkey Productions on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel and like the podcast. You can also get our show wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple, you name it, we're there. All right, this is Mike. That's Rob. We'll see you next time on the Sticky Side. Throw them straight.
Oh, just a wannabe cornhole starters saying keep hotels and driving beat up cars. The crowd gets crazy and the beers ain't cheap. We get drunk all day, so we just don't eat, and we hang out at the local bar, throwing bags in the hole like we have it all.